Okay, I've been at this for 5 hours. This is VirtualBox, and it has some Compiz effects going here. But this video is also a failure because I cannot get Compiz to work in VirtualBox by itself without having to do some tweaking, as you will see in this episode. However, this video will be a benefit to those of you who want to get Compiz running on a real computer with a real video card. Always keep in mind you're going to need to follow the documentation, and you're going to possibly seek out support on the forums. So we'll get started right after I roll the intro. Okay, we are on the Arch Wiki. Let's go ahead and type in Compiz. Now, we need to scroll down to 2.6, which is right here, as a standalone window manager. This is everything you need to know about getting Compiz to work as a standalone window manager. And you'll need to follow the instructions in this guide. I will show you how I got it working using this information supplied here. Before I begin, remember that I am going to be using my base install. That is episodes 1 through 6, where I actually installed this. And anytime I install a desktop environment or window manager, I'm always going to be using the base install. So in other words, for example, today we're installing Compiz over our base install. I am not going to add GNOME over it, or KDE, and that sort of thing. I'm just going to have one window manager or desktop environment running on top of the base install. First, if you followed my tutorials, if you press F12 on your keyboard, Wake terminal will open, and you will be greeted with the lovely Archbang logo and all this information on your system. Okay, now we need to install some items. So let's go into Super User, and to do that I use sudo su, and it puts me into my prompt where I have root privileges. We need to issue pacman -S, and then I'm going to type in a few items that I know are going to install dependencies. We need ccsm, that is the Compiz config setting manager. We need Compiz core. We need let me put a dash in there. We need Fusion icon. If we tell it to install the Emerald themes, -themes, it will install Emerald as well. So we don't have to do all of this typing. And then let's go with the Compiz Fusion plugins extra. That will install the main as well. Something I'd like to note: if you install the GTK or the KDE packages for Compiz, it's going to download it's going to download a lot of GNOME and a lot of KDE, and if you don't want all that stuff, just follow what I'm doing here. If you don't want GNOME or KDE, then yeah, you really don't want that. Okay, let's also install lib compiz config. and Compiz Manager. Alright, press enter here. It's resolving the dependencies, and it's going to download 6.88 megs and expand to 40.3, and it's giving you a list of everything that it's going to install. We've got Compiz bcop, the Compiz Fusion plugins main. Notice that when we just typed in Compiz Fusion Extra, it pulled down the main as well. The Compiz Python will install, Emerald, Glue, libnwik, whatever that is. So it's downloading all the dependencies and everything. You even get the Mesa demos, the CCSM, Compiz Core, Fusion Plugins Extra. Everything that you're going to need is going to be in this. So just press Y and enter, and it will install them for you. Okay, now, Compiz is not going to be usable unless you have some things that load up when it loads up at the same time. You'll notice on the right side of my screen I have a number of things that are going to be loading up in the beginning on the Exinit RC file. Okay, and some of these items are the Avant Window Navigator. I'm using that as my panel. I have Gwake, which loads. This is that terminal you see here. I have Japan loading. This is that little Pac-Man character on the upper right of my screen, and it tells me when there are updates coming in, and I always like to know when the new updates are coming in, but I don't use that actual application to run the updates themselves. I actually run Yowert, and I can update both the files from the Arch repositories, as well as update items that I have downloaded through the Arch user repositories. Okay, and then of course a volume icon is included so that I can adjust my sound. And then I also installed X screensavers so I can enjoy some nice screensavers and that sort of thing. And these are items that you are going to need to have on the system. I hope you're watching this in high def. That way you can see all of these items that I have in my particular list here on the cheat sheet. Okay, now, in the next step, we are going to obtain Avant Window Navigator, and I believe that is in the AUR. So let's go ahead and add a new tab. Okay, and then I'm going to type in Yowert. That's Y-A-O-U-R-T, Avant. And you will see here there is a number of things that we can install. I installed Avant Window Navigator from the Bazaar, or BZR. The reason being, I like to have absolute freshness on my system, so I will install that. And then I will run, so I'm going to select number 3 from the list on my computer. It could be a different number on yours. So I'm going to install Avant Window Navigator -BZR, and then I'm going to install AWN Extras Applets BZR. And actually, to save time, I could probably just install AWN Extras Applets BZR, and it will install its dependency Avant Window Navigator BZR. Let's try that. So let's go and scroll down here and select number 6, and then press enter. This may go out of sync because extra processor is being used. If that is the case, please forgive. I press no because I don't really wish to edit the package build. And as you can see here, it is going to install a few things. it looks like we have some things that are already installed. It is going to install Avant Window Navigator from the BZR. It's going to install libsexy, libwebkit, and then BZR, and then of course Vala. So there are going to be two packages that it's going to build on the fly from the AUR. Okay, do we want to edit the extra applets BZR install? No, we don't. Do we want to continue building? Yes. Now this is going to take a while, so I am going to pause the video and I will be back shortly. Proceed with the installation? Yes. So pretty much just follow the prompts. If it asks you if you want to edit the file, you really don't need to edit them. Just press no, but follow each prompt that it gives you, yes or no answers, and that sort of thing. Experimentation and persistence is key in Arch. My hair has command line fatigue from all of this. We're still rendering. It can take a while. Take my word for it. Okay, now that all of that has compiled, you're probably going to want to have a good menu system. Now, AWN does come with a menu, but suppose you want a little bit more control over your menu. Well, we can install Cardapio, and that's what I'm going to do. So let's type in Yawert, Cardapio. Okay, now, the BZR edition is broken, so you're going to need to install one. In the filming of this, I tried to install the BZR edition, and I forgot that it was broken, so I'm going to go ahead and install the regular one. We're not going to edit the package build. Alright, and then it's going to want to install some additional dependencies. Now, because I attempted to install the BZR, the additional dependencies are installed, but something I would like to show you here is anything that is in yellow is going to be built from the AUR, and anything that is in blue is an item that is going to be downloaded from Arch's repositories. White is already installed. I just wanted to show you that on this list here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue building that, and when it is done, we'll proceed to the next steps. Okay, now that Cardapio has been installed, you'll see here in the list it says optional dependencies for Cardapio. GNOME panel, great if you're going to use GNOME, we're not. A tracker for search capability. A la carte for menu editing. You're going to need this because what's going to happen is you're going to have some redundant menu entries because this package did install some components of GNOME and it's going to put them in the menu. So you might want to remove those. So having that functionality, and that's something that I did. So let's go ahead and type in Yawert, a la carte. And that's the only one that I actually installed. We already have the we already have the ability to use this with AWN because we downloaded the AWN extras applets. Okay, so let's go ahead and select. We can actually build that from Git if we want to. So let's select 2. It's always good to have Git installed. Do we want to edit the package build? No. And you will see here we have some components installed, and the items in blue are going to download from Arch's repositories and install. So the only thing that it's going to actually compile is a la carte. So we don't want to edit the install file, and we'll continue building it from Git. We'll press yes. I'll be back when that finishes. Okay, do you want to know when you have updates coming in?
Alright, well then let's install Japan. See little Pac-Man, he's moving his mouth right now on the upper right corner of my screen. He's checking to see if there's any updates. So let's go ahead and install Japan as well. Y-A-O-U-R-T, Japan. And there it is, number 1. Press enter, and we will build this one as well. Edit package build, no. Okay, it's gonna download some dependencies, and we're gonna continue building it. Press yes. Okay, and there are 3 providers available for the Phonon backend. We can use Phonon GStreamer, Phonon VLC, or Phonon MPlayer Git. Why not go with GStreamer? So I'll press 1. Alright, and we will install that.
I hope you guys ain't falling asleep on me. I know this is a little tedious, but we'll get there, I promise, I promise.
Alright, now that we've got all that installed, I suppose we can proceed with this. I'm not going to show you how to install the X screensaver. If that's something you want, read the manual. It'll tell you how to get it. Very easy. Very simple, very easy. Pac-Man, X screensaver, you know, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, now it's time to have a little bit of fun. Let's go ahead and close this terminal here. We'll right-click on our desktop and go to Places, and then browse here. Now that we've opened up our home directory, you're looking at this and going, what the fadoodle is this? This is Arch! If you want user directories, you have to make them. So if you want a directory for downloads, we're going to have to make one. If you want a directory for desktop, you're going to have to make one. Although, there is no desktop in GNOME Standalone, but some programs may need to write files to desktop, so we need to make a directory for that. Maybe if you want pictures. Okay, just a few simple little things. Alright, now, we need to open up our and show hidden files. And you will see here that we have a number of them already. The one we're going to be working with is xinitrc. Let's open this with LeafPad. And you will see we have a number of things in here already. We're going to do some modifications with this. I'm going to go ahead and close this for right now. To use Compiz as a standalone window manager, we need to edit the last line here. And we need to change this to Fusion Icon. Okay, now, to make this usable, actually what I'm going to do is, I'm going to comment out these first 2 lines. I'm going to press enter, and now I'm going to add these lines here. I cheated a little bit. We are adding Avant Window Navigator with an AND symbol, GWIC with an AND symbol, Japan with the AND symbol, Volume Icon -B with the AND symbol, and Nitrogen -Restore with the AND symbol. Now we can go ahead and save this. Something else, if you decided to install X Screensaver, you are going to need to add /user /bin /x screensaver hyphen no hyphen splash with the and symbol. I didn't install that for this demonstration. Of further note, if you want Conky to run, you will have to add that. But you're going to have to read the documentation. I've had a few little problems with it, and personally I really don't care much for Conky, because with the Avant Window Navigator I can have all of the notifications and that sort of thing in my panel, as you can see on the top of my screen. Let's go ahead and minimize this, and we will proceed to the next steps. Now, let's go ahead and open up our terminal, and we need to issue a command. Let's start with Avant Window Navigator. Let me put a hyphen in there. Let's go into the panel properties and start adding some things. Something to note, if you would like to have a full detailed version of how to customize Avant Window Navigator, please check my Pinguy OS Comprehensive How-To series. It details everything you need to know to get this looking and working the way you want. Okay, I'm going to decrease the size of the icons. That will work. Then we'll go into applets, and we'll select a few things. We need to have Cardapio working, so we will go ahead and add that. And I can actually take out the preferences applet here. Okay, now, there's no such file or directory, home, spatry, config, user dirs.dirs, so we have to make that. So we'll just go into config. We will right click, create new blank file, and that will be user -dirs.dirs. Let me spell that correctly here. And then close. We will click here, and another error will come up. It wants a file called gtk-bookmarks. So we need to actually move up into the directory it's specifying, home /spatry, or whatever your name is, and we need to make that. Create new blank file .gtk-bookmarks. Okay. We will close this again, and we will click here again. I don't think any more errors come up. But we'll double check here. Okay, good. Now it is working. And we have the Cardapio menu. And because we installed a la carte, we can actually edit the menus. Okay, good. Now, we can also add notifications. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now we have an error here saying please remove the existing notification area, then restart the applet. We're going to go ahead and close that because we have a notification area running down here already. This is enough, and it's sufficient enough to actually work with for the time being. So we'll go ahead and close this. But as indicated, if you want more information on customizing Avant Window Navigator, see my tutorial in the PinGuy OS How-To series. Now, before we can even start using Compiz, now we're going to have to run the Compiz Config Settings Manager. So let's go to our menu and we will do a search for CCSM. And here it is. Now, I am only going to show you what is necessary to get this running. If you would like a comprehensive tutorial on using the Compiz, I have a 5-part series in the PinGuy OS 1104 How-To series, which takes you through everything you want to know about Compiz. So just the basic functionality is all we are after here, and that is what we're going to do. Under General Options, under Desktop Size, if you want to have 4 desktops, set that to 4 or whatever number you want. We are not going to enable GNOME compatibility or KDE compatibility. If you want the desktop cube or the rotate cube features, you can add them. You can even add Expo if you want. You can add 3D windows, animations, that sort of thing. Okay, well, we do need to enable window decorations. Otherwise, we're not going to have any borders at all. And I don't think I'm going to do any eye candy in this episode. Maybe image loading. Let's select JPEG, text, PNG, and SVG image loading. You do want to enable wallpaper. This way you can define a wallpaper background that this is going to have. You're also going to need to enable Move Windows. Maybe an application switcher. Resize windows. If you want snapping windows, you can enable that as well. We can also enable Maximize. Okay, that's interesting that they named it that way, but okay, I don't even think that's a real word. Okay, and let me see if there's anything else we really need to enable. In the Compiz Config Settings Manager, make sure that you set a wallpaper. Okay, and so we're going to do that. Just point your browser to User, Share, Wallpapers, and then pick one of the images. Just press New, and then go into User, Share, Wallpapers, and pick an image. The PWNED JPEG file is the default background for Archbang, and I decided to stay with that. Now we're going to need window borders. So, let's open up Emerald. We, of course, installed a ton of themes with this, so we can select one. I'll fly with this one. And then close. Okay, you will remember that when we updated our system, we updated the kernel as well. So we are actually going to need to reinstall VirtualBox Arch Linux editions. So let's do that. As root, pacman-s VirtualBox Arch Linux -editions. And it's going to reinstall it and set it up for us. Now, there is a composite manager that comes with OpenBox in Archbang. So what we need to do is disable it. So we will right click and go in, and this will also correct any problems with two icons and everything appearing. So let's go into Preferences, OpenBox Configurator, and edit the auto start. And let's go ahead and comment out some of this stuff. I'm going to comment out, as a matter of fact, I'm going to comment out all of it. But if you want Conky running, make sure you add Conky-Q with the AND symbol to your Exonet RC if you want that running. Okay, I'm going to take out the volume icon as well because we already have that in Exonet RC, and that's why we're seeing a double here. Okay, I already have nitrogen restore, and make sure you've got Xcomp Manager commented out. Pretty much I've commented out everything in the OpenBox session because Avant Window Navigator is taking control of that. Okay, so we will go ahead and close this and save the changes. Okay, now let's open up our terminal here and let's issue a command, kill all tint. Okay, kill all tint 2. Alright, now we can click on this applet that crashed and it should load. Alright, very nice. You'll see here that we have a number of things here in our notification area, and we can change how that looks as well by just simply right click on this. Okay, and change the rows to 1. Okay, now, and this problem here should disappear once we reboot. This next step is what separates the adults from the children. I cannot stress this enough. You must read the documentation as it applies to your graphic device, or you will not get this to work. Now, since we're working with VirtualBox, we need to adjust the VirtualBox graphics driver. Let's go ahead and open up our terminal and log in as root. Now, nano /etc /X11 xorg.conf.d /20-GPU driver.conf. Now, this is where we need to modify some things. The first line is now going to say configured video device. And the next line, instead of VISA, it's going to say VBox video. Now that I'm satisfied with that, that will be in lowercase. Yes, VBox video in lowercase. We can hit Control X, Y, and then Enter. And now we have that file saved. Now, it's also good to do a little bit of modification to Etsy RC configuration so that we can keep the time server updated. So let's go ahead and do that. That is nano / Etsy rc.conf. And now we're going to navigate down to the daemons array and add VBox service. Control X, Y, and Enter. As I'm going through these steps, I'm having difficulty getting this to work, but I don't give up easily. Okay, so now I'm going to create a Xorg config file so that that has the same information that we have in the Etsy x11 zorg.conf.d file, the 20 GPU driver conf. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, no such file, so let's make one. Places, browse here. Okay, and then tools, open current folder as root. Etsy x11, and then we need to make a file called zorg.conf. Create new, blank file. Okay. Leaf pad that. Device. Okay, identifier. Okay, just do what you see me doing here on the screen. File and save. Okay, now let's go ahead and add another file here. Let's go into Places, browse here. Okay, you're in your home directory now, and if you don't see these folders, hit Control H to hide or unhide. Alright, go into Config, Compiz, right click, create new blank file. We're going to name this Compiz Manager. Okay? And then we're going to add the following line to it in capital letters. Skip underscore checks equals lowercase y es. Yes. File and save. Okay, let's make sure when we go into the Emerald Theme Manager that we do have a theme selected here. Okay. And maybe even the green one. Alright, and then exit. Now, let's see if we can try this. Go into select window decorator. It says Emerald. We've got indirect rendering selected. Let's switch to Compiz. Actually, I rebooted the computer a number of times and had some problems. That's why I have it running. So why don't we do it the right way rather than using the icon, because I didn't show you how I managed to pull that one off. So let's right click, exit, and restart. Okay, and I'm in the process of logging in and everything's loading up. Alright. Okay, now let's open up a terminal. Type in Emerald replace. Okay, apparently for some reason it's not taking the Emerald decorations. Let's Control C that. Compiz. Or we can just run Fusion icon. Okay, it says open box is already running, that's alright. Now, you can right click on this, go to Emerald Theme Manager here. Let's select one. We'll right click on this and select Compiz Options. Okay, it looks like Emerald is set up here. Okay, we're still running OpenBox, but we need to change that to Compiz. So, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, it didn't like that. So, if you're on a main computer, it's Control Alt F3 for TTY, or Control Alt, or on VirtualBox it's right Control and F3 to get into a TTY. Or actually, we can just log in anyway when we do that, because we're still defaulting to our regular session. This is not cooperating very well to get in this to run in VirtualBox. I did not have this much difficulty setting it up on my regular computer. Okay. Close all this stuff out. Alright, and I just had it working, but it's taking a lot of finagling to get this to work. So you're going to have to read the documentations, you're going to have to go on the forums. I managed to get this working, but the thing is, it's not cooperating very well. And that's due to some updates in VirtualBox and that sort of thing. So it is what it is. But I will show it working. Okay, so let's let's open this with LeafPad. We're going to remove dbus, launch OpenBus session, and run Fusion Icon. Yeah. File, save. Exit. Log out. I had to pick the most difficult one to show you guys. Setting this up in VirtualBox is hard. Believe me, I've been at this for 3 hours now. Alright, and but I didn't have this much. It only took me 20 minutes to set up on my laptop. This computer that you see me using right now. Okay. Just take a moment here to get this everything loading. Now, this is where it gets tricky, because now we're going to have to do this a little blindly here. Alright, you're going to press the button that opens up your Wake terminal. And you will see that your cursor turns into an up and down arrow. This is the only way I was able to get it to work, folks. Okay, and then you're going to type. You're going to click and then type open box space hyphen hyphen replace. Alright, now we have, or better yet, there's another way I could have done this. But what we'll do is Emerald Theme Manager. I'm probably going out of sync now. We'll select this one and close it. Alright, now we'll hit Open Box, right click on the icon again, and we'll select Compiz. Fail. Alright. Definitely not cooperating for me here. Okay, then we're going to have to do this again. F12. We're going to blindly type in open box space hyphen hyphen replace. Alright. Good. Now we'll right click on the icon here, Compiz or Window Manager. We'll select Open Box. Okay, and we're given back our terminal here. Now let's type in Compiz hyphen hyphen or Compiz hyphen manager. Saying XGL is not present. It's starting Emerald. Alright, let me Control C here. Alright, now we'll go into Emerald Theme Manager here. Alright, and you can see we've got Emerald enabled. Alright, now, and that's something we can possibly do. I don't give up easily. I will figure out a way to do this by hook or by crook. We'll close this. Since we can't right click on our desktop anymore, now we're going to have to go to Places and Home. And to show you that Compiz really is working, we'll right click on this, go into Settings Manager, And let's enable an effect. It may take a moment for this. I'm getting aggravated. So, running Compiz in VirtualBox, really folks, is not practical. But you can get this working with your main graphics card. Okay, so now, let's enable something fun like wobbly windows. See, it's working. So we'll close that. Let's go into Exinit RC, LeafPad, and before launching the Fusion icon, since we're having luck with Compiz Manager, let's run that too. Enter Compiz -manager with an and symbol after it. We will file and save. We will close this. We will close this. Okay, and let's reboot this thing. Now, in order to log out, now, the only way you're going to log out of this session is by actually closing the Compiz icon. So when you hit quit, it will end your session. Okay, I think I might have found a solution as to why I couldn't get this to work. I noticed we had no cursor themes installed. So, what I've done is I've issued this command to the terminal. Pacman capital S lowercase s cursor. Alright, we're going to scroll up here and we're going to grab X cursor themes. Right click copy, scroll down to the bottom here. So that's Pacman -S, and we'll right click paste X cursor themes and press enter. Now, by the way, I am in OpenBox. Okay, and we will go ahead and install that. Wonderful. Now, we can go ahead and close this. We can right click, go into Preferences, User Interface Settings, and into Mouse Cursor, and now we have cursors. And I'll use the white glass. We will apply that and close. Alright, now let's see what happens when we restart. Just do it this way. Sudo reboot. I'm going to try one more thing. Let's go into Home. And then let's go into Exinit RC, LeafPad it. Okay, and I need some code from the other item, which was the auto start. So we'll go into config OpenBox and open this. Cancel. I meant LeafPad that. Okay. So that's what I want to try and use. Let's put in brackets here, sleep. And let's give it a good little space here. Let's say 5. Ampersand, ampersand, or and. And let's try Compiz Manager. And then put an and after that. Alright, file, save. Okay, and we don't have to restart, we can just actually exit. So we can right click and quit on the Compiz Fusion icon. That'll take us to our login screen. We will see if we can get this working. Okay, press F12. Blindly click here and type in Compiz, type in Manager. Did I do that right? Okay, Control-Shift-T. Create a new terminal. Compiz. Did it work? I just can't win for losing on this thing, let me tell you. Maybe I didn't wait long enough. Weird. Okay, let's right Control and R to reset it. Looks like another possible solution, so let's try this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is right click and copy this line. Just open up our terminal and create a new terminal window. Let's go in as root. Alright, we're going to right click and paste. Alright, and then we need to add my user to the video list. So let's go ahead and do that. Video. So that's GPASSWD space -A, your username, and then video. Okay, very good. What we're doing is we're adding the modules that are necessary. So let's see what happens here when we try this. Oh, all we have to do is just exit. Quit. And it will quit. Let's see what happens. Nice little shadow effect on the mouse now. And still nothing. By the way, I enabled the cube to play with this a little bit. But still not getting the results we're after, obviously. So let's press F12. Put the cursor up here. I like to click a few times, make sure the cursor's up there. And blindly type in Compiz -manager. And we'll see what other errors it gives us. Still no pincher set. Please call set create pointers in your SPU. Okay, and really, that's the only warning that we're getting. Okay, let's go into lib udev rules.d. So let's minimize this. I copied this line, we're going to add it. Somebody says they found the solution, so let's see what we get. Going to home, SDA3, tools, open current folder as root. Where's that file? Lib udev rules d. Lib udev rules d. '60 VirtualBox OSE edition rules. Okay. Kernel. VBox user. Name. Is that what you put in there? Let me check that. To make this permanent, put the following in. Okay. So that's what you're supposed to put in there. Alright, I've added that. File, save. And if this doesn't work, this is a failure. Compiz Manager. Try it again. Control-Shift-T. It is what it is. This will work on your graphics card, but I can't get it working in VirtualBox. Oh well. Failure. Alright, regardless of everything I've tried, I have not been able to successfully be able to get this to work in VirtualBox by itself when you log in. And I've been all over the forums and everything. You can see I do have it working and that sort of thing. It is possible, but if you know of a solution, please put it down here. That way people can play with this in VirtualBox. Installing this on your regular computer will not be this difficult. But you will need to go through and read all of the documentation indigenous to your video card to get this set up and working properly. And you may find yourself having to log in from time to time in OpenBox to correct some problems and some errors. It's going to take some fiddling around and tweaking and that sort of thing. That's what I've been spending the last now 4 hours working on this thing, and I still couldn't get it to work properly in VirtualBox. Alright, well, that's all I have on this. I've spent more time than is necessary to try and properly get this working. It's not practical to run Compiz as a standalone window manager in VirtualBox, and I have learned that today. But running it on your computer, you should be able to do alright with it. If you have any questions or anything, first read the documentation, check out the forums and see what other people have done where you're installing this on your computer. Well, that's all I have for now. Please comment and subscribe. I've disabled the like feature because trolls have no voice on this channel, period. Also, Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. I'll keep you up to date every time I upload a new video. That's all for now. Thank you for watching and have a terrific day.